Hello? Excuse me? Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name's Candace, and this is Genesis episode 3. In this episode, we're going to be moving Genesis and Ezra into a shelter so they can get help having a place to stay, and Genesis can work on building her resume, going on job interviews, getting some work so that she can afford to get her own place. So this is the shelter. It's called A New Beginning. It's run by Mr. and Mrs. Crowley. Joy does the business side of it, and she is the one that's doing all the paperwork to get Genesis and Ezra in. And her husband Samuel does a lot of the cooking and the handiwork around. And this is their adopted grandson. His name is Clarence. Clarence was actually left on the doorstep of the shelter when he was a baby. So the Crowleys adopted them as their own. So he lives there with them and he calls them Grandma and Grandpa. This is Marshall. He's somebody who's staying at the shelter right now. He came in with a drug problem and he's been getting clean, and now he just likes to work on his music. This is Dakota Summerhill, and she is trying to get a job in activism. She needed a place to stay until she could figure out how to earn money. So the first thing I wanted Genesis to do was work on her job finding skill. So I have a mod that actually locks all the careers, and you have to actually build a job finding skill before you could even look for a job. So you have to make your resume, you have to go on job interviews. You can't even just get a job, a part-time job right away. So the first thing I had her do was go on the computer and request a copy of her high school diploma. So it should be coming in a day or two. So Genesis and Ezra have just been getting to know everybody around the shelter and who's living there at the moment. Ezra has been maintaining his horrible attitude. He's just very ill-mannered and he throws a lot of tantrums. Genesis isn't being the greatest parent right now. She's too focused on her own problems and the whole grand situation, so she hasn't been able to be the best parent. So Ezra's been getting away with a lot of crap, which is why he's constantly having a bad attitude and not doing things like he's supposed to. But Ezra is just being a kid, and he is happy that Clarence is at the shelter as well because they can hang out and be friends. And Ezra and Clarence did enjoy playing outside together, and they're not the best of friends right away, but it's day one, so it's better than having no one around. So I think they're definitely gonna eventually become close, I'm sure. Genesis and Dakota have been talking, and Genesis is just complaining to her about all her problems and asking her why she's here, and she's asking her about Joy and what Dakota thinks about the whole facility and the Crowleys and everything. And Dakota says that she likes Joy and she likes this place, and they're really good people, and it's really not a bad spot. So today the principal is visiting Ezra's class. Everyone is on their best behavior and not interrupt the lesson. Unfortunately, the kid sitting behind him had decided to pelt him with something. Should he ignore it or ask the kid to stop? So I chose ask the kid to stop. Ezra scribbles a note and passes it back to the kid. Stop or I'll tell. The kid wads up the paper and fires it at Ezra, but it misses and rolls up to the teacher's feet. Furious, the teacher sends them both out into the hallway. Great, now Ezra's going to be in trouble. Fantastic. Just what we need to deal with our troubled child at school. Anyway, so now she's talking to Marshall and probably also asking him what he thinks about the facility and how he got to be there and how he was able to turn his life around and yada yada yada. So Genesis also, I think, got bed bugs from staying at the motel because she keeps scratching herself, and she has all these red rash marks on her skin, so that's great. So I just had her drink some orange juice to help with that illness that she has right now. Another thing I was having her do today was have her look online for a divorce lawyer. The problem is that Genesis doesn't have any money. Like, she has the $300 left in her money jar, but other than that, she doesn't have money to be paying for a divorce lawyer. So we went with the free option. So yeah, better than nothing probably. So we'll see how that goes. I love that Dakota's painting a mural on the wall. Dakota is an artist, and I think Genesis also has some artistic and creative qualities to her as well. She's just been so tense and upset lately that I can't even get her to do anything. So I keep trying to get her to paint or whatever, but she just refuses to. She's just so upset about life right now. She doesn't want to do anything. But I think Dakota will be a good friend and a good influence on her. Ezra has been given detention. He will need to report there after school. Yep, that checks out. So Genesis got this call right now saying that Ezra got detention, and so she's upset again. She just can't catch a break, and her head hurts, and she's just venting to Joy right now and just talking to her about all her problems. And I feel like that's all this girl does. She just like keeps venting to everybody about her issues. And I mean, it's understandable. She's going through so much right now. So I feel like everybody's just kind of giving their advice. And okay, Johnny is wondering if I want to go over to his house and hang out. So I guess Johnny just texted Ezra. Unfortunately, Ezra is in detention, so I have to say no. But, I mean, it's nice that his dad is reaching out and wanting to spend time with him. How sad. I don't think Genesis would want Ezra going over to hang out with Johnny right now anyways, especially because they're in the middle of trying to get this divorce going, and I feel like there's going to be a custody battle as well, so she's probably worried about all that. So Genesis and Joy have been talking about all the issues and the divorce and, what happened with her and her husband and, how she's worried about all of this going down and the situation that she basically is in now. And Joy is just trying to give her the best advice she can. She's just like, girl, you need to look into getting some mental help for yourself, because it's not good to be walking around so angry all the time. And I understand you're going through a lot, but for your own sake, like, you have to get your own like moods together and not be having these like so much tension and so much anger all of the time. So Genesis got hit with a little bit of reality advice from Joy, so she's not happy about it, but she's like, fine, I'll go look into some mental health for myself. So I thought that was cute. Because I didn't pick that. She did that on her own. So working that into the story. Ezra's home from school, and he is not happy about his detention. And he's just been in just as terrible of a mood as Genesis. Like, he walks around the shelter just real upset all the time. I like this interaction. I chose Dream Big so he can like pretend he's like a basketball star and he's like using his imagination, but I think he missed the basket, so he's like even more upset right now. And Joy would just happen to be there, and she's like trying to give him some encouragement, but he just does not want to hear it. I feel like nobody wants to hear Joy's advice right now. But Genesis and Dakota seem to be, I guess, looking for jobs together and like working on their job finding skills. And I guess she's probably telling her about how Joy told her to look into some like mental health help, and Dakota's probably encouraging it as well. So there's only a slight interaction that you could see, but I think that at some point I missed it, but Ezra and Samuel were talking, and I guess Ezra kind of vented to Samuel about his problems, because when I opened the sim profile for Samuel that Ezra had, it said that he had friendly advice. Ezra remembers when Samuel listened to his problems and shared some thoughtful advice, and I thought that was so sweet. Samuel just kind of being a little bit of a father figure for him in that moment. I think Ezra just needed to talk to a man, someone that he could relate to a bit, and I'm happy that Samuel was there for him. I also remember that Ezra needs to be doing his homework. I mean, he's not in like a great place right now, but I just had him doing some math problems. I feel like Ezra likes math, so I don't want him to be like completely failing in school. Like, he's not doing the greatest right now because of all of his issues, but you know, he's gonna do a little bit of homework, at least the stuff that he finds easier, and I think for him that's math. He's probably one of those like math science kids. So Genesis also decided to sit down and apologize to Ezra, which helped their relationship a little bit, but not a whole lot, not unrealistically. Like, they're still not in like the best of places with each other. Ezra's still upset that he's living at a shelter right now and not at home, and that he can't really see his dad. And Genesis isn't like super happy about the whole situation either, obviously. So, I mean, it's a start. Ezra's still feeling hurt. Time might heal Ezra's pain, but it still hurts for now. Yeah, so, I mean, I like that they can't just like, oh, he's crying. That's so sad. I like that it's not just like, oh, apologize and everything's better. So I think that's cute that they have some lingering feelings and sadness and stuff. Are you okay? Okay, so Ezra just got back from school, and I guess he got detention again, so he's gonna go right back. He just keeps getting in trouble at school. I mean, it checks out. When kids are just not doing good at home, they don't do well at school. So, you know, they're talking about it right now. You know, she's asking him like, you know, how was your day, and and what's going on with you at school, and why do you keep getting in trouble? And he's just like, you know, I just don't like it. Like, I don't want to go to school. I don't like the kids. And she's just like, you know what, I can't deal with this right now. Like, you just need to do your work and get things done and stop misbehaving. And he's just like, ugh, mom, like, you're not even listening to me. Like, you don't even care what I'm going through. And so he's just walking away, and she was about to start asking him about, like, you know, who he would want to live with, and he was like, I'm not listening to this. And hello? Excuse me? Unwanted pregnancy from Woohoo. Genesis did not expect this pregnancy and is really not sure that she wants it at all, but it's happening. What should she do? Second trimester in 3 days. And Genesis is now in her first trimester and should schedule her first prenatal visit. Okay, so, I mean, obviously it's from Johnny because she hasn't woohooed with anybody else, so I'm just gonna leave it right here and end this episode. I'll see you in the next one, guys.